Hello and welcome back to the Academy of the Magical Art. This is part 4 of our series on the signs of the Zodiac, where we will be discussing the sign of Cancer. Cancer being the fourth sign and the ruler of the fourth house. The duration of the sign Cancer is from June 21st to July 22nd. Its element is water, and its quality is cardinal, being the first sign of summer. This sign's ruler is the moon. Its detriment is Saturn. Its exaltation is Jupiter or Neptune, and it falls in Mars. Being that Cancers are the fourth sign of the zodiac, they are all about the home. They take great care in the stewardship over their roots, which they consider to be their home and their family. They have a tendency to be very domestic and have a love or a passion for nurturing others, almost to a detrimental quality. Those born with a sun sign in Cancer will oftentimes marry if their home and their relationship feel secure to them, because in carrying that crab-like quality of wanting to grasp onto something, once they have something that they truly love and appreciate, they don't want to let it go. Cancer being the first of the water trigon, the other two signs being Scorpio and Pisces. This sign is known for its intuition, their psychic abilities, their ability to be very in touch with their own emotions and the emotions of those around them. And at one time, Cancer was known as a dark sign because of the obscured visibility of this constellation in the night sky. Cancers are oftentimes considered to be introspective, tenacious, intuitive and emotional, domestic, very refined, and have great empathy. And many of the people born with this water sign have some kind of gift of clairvoyance. Cancers are oftentimes known to be people that enjoy sensation and feeling, and are considered by many astrologers to be one of the most sensitive signs of the zodiac. They tend to operate through life and look at the world around them with their intuition and their emotion rather than logic. So although they have a tendency to be very spiritual individuals, they can also have a tendency to have a lot of emotional tension and are oftentimes seen struggling between their logical body and their emotional body. The story of this constellation is associated with Hercules. During Hercules' fight with the Hydra, this crab was sent from a nearby swamp by Hera to snap at Hercules' toes, because Hera had a vendetta against Hercules and wanted him dead. Hercules was able to overcome this enemy by smashing its shell on its head with his foot, and as a result for the crab's sacrifice, Hera then placed this crab in the sky, making it the constellation of Cancer. Being that Cancer is ruled by the moon, who is known in ancient times as being the great mother of the heavens, here on Earth this is manifested through the Cancer's maternal instincts, or paternal if it's male, and their desire to protect their home. This to many can seem to be a little bit smothering or overwhelming. Some might even consider them to be clingy, but that's the nature of the crab. The moon, in its association with fertility, gives a Cancer a quality that is most pleasing, having a desire to be fruitful in many areas of their life. And the moon being the ruler of our emotional states and our temperament, Cancers are oftentimes known to have many of these different temperaments and states, oftentimes switching from one to the other. Because of this emotional nature, Cancers can appear to be a little bit oversensitive, having their feelings hurt easily, being prone to brooding and holding on to grudges. And on the other hand, they are very quick to form attachment with people, showing their affection, sharing their empathetic nature, and really connecting with these individuals. Because of Cancer's empathetic nature and their being ruled by water, and the moon's nature to control the tides, oftentimes you'll see Cancer's emotions rolling like the waves of the sea. These individuals will pick up on the emotions of others, and as a result, have a tendency to adopt these feelings as their own, oftentimes having some difficulty logicizing through them because of the tendency to be disconnected from this aspect of their self. Cancers really value the sense of security and will create nest eggs and fail-safes to ensure that they are in a position where if something were to happen, they can bounce back. Now, individuals with a Cancer moon sign, again, the moon being the ruling planet of Cancer, Cancer is able to express itself fully when the moon is resting within her house. These individuals are deeply emotional and they're very sensitive and are very in touch with their sixth sense and their intuition. It's important for individuals with their moon in Cancer to keep a watchful eye on their emotional state and to gauge themselves constantly, knowing that they can be prone to oversensitivity and in doing so overreactions. Many of these individuals are interested in the occult sciences. You'll see many of these individuals becoming astrologers or intuitives of some kind, maybe a tarot card reader or somebody who reads clairvoyantly, such as seeing people's auras and doing energy work, being able to connect with them on that emotional level. Oftentimes you will find that they're well versed in older knowledges, being able to easily uncover these hidden well springs of valuable information, having a tendency to be introspective and look inward, knowing that this is where they will find many of their answers. Now, when Mercury transits through Cancer, Mercury is the planet of communication. So, what kind of communication will a Mercury Cancer person have? Oftentimes, they will have a large tendency to speak from the heart. These individuals will communicate with feeling conveying, oftentimes a sensitive or a almost withdrawn approach to communication, especially with interpersonal communications between spouses or family. Again, I want to note Cancer is the ruler of the fourth house, so their family and those that they hold dear to their heart, not only are they careful not to be hurt by these individuals through communication, but they are also going to be very careful how they send their communications to another individual, taking the same care not to create any damage that doesn't need to be done. Oftentimes, it might even seem as if these people would rather not talk at all than taking the risk of entering into these potentially hurtful interpersonal communications. These individuals will oftentimes be deep thinkers and very analytical, very meditative, and self-reflective. They are oftentimes noted for having a very good memory, being able to recall things from months and years prior. Although because of their emotional nature, this memory might be a little bit skewed, keeping in mind that everybody's perspective is going to be different, and emotion can oftentimes play a big role in recalling how an event took place. I want to note to take care not to interpret a Cancer Mercury's communication as being defensive or withdrawn. Oftentimes they're just trying to be gentle and empathetic. Because of this empathetic nature, they will pick up on the person that they're communicating with's emotions through their conversation. And because of this, oftentimes they're also very good listeners. Moving into Venus, when an individual's Venus is in Cancer, Venus being the ruler of our love, this individual will look for security, safety, stability in relationships, oftentimes being very nurturing to their partners and their lovers due to the empathetic nature of an individual with their Venus in Cancer. It is important for their partner to realize and recognize that these people are very empathetic towards what they are receiving, and they will know if their partner is not being genuine, and they will take it very personally. Cancer being a very intuitive sign, they will be very in touch with their lover's feelings and their emotional states, oftentimes being able to quote-unquote read that other person very easily, and having a tendency to create a very strong connection because of that. Feeling appreciated is very important for a person with their Venus in Cancer, feeling like their hard work and their labor is bearing fruit and being reciprocated. These individuals are known for being very charming and very charismatic and understanding. And even though they have these qualities, they may not necessarily realize it and be a little bit hard on themselves because of it. Now, Mars in Cancer individual, Mars being the planet of action and forward-moving energy, these individuals can actually seem a little bit passive-aggressive. They are not real keen on unexpected change. They do not really care for direct confrontation and challenge. They prefer to analyze situations and make sure that a situation is safe before progressing into it. Their motto truly is, proper preparation prevents poor performance. These individuals are very tenacious, especially when they know what they want. They have a strong passion and a strong drive to achieve it, oftentimes being creative and able to think outside of the box. Once they're in tune with their own wants and desires, and they're in tune with their emotions, they can use this emotional fire to drive their actions moving forward and be very successful in doing so, just as long as their heart is absolutely tied into it. You know, Mars being a planet that has a tendency to intensify things. When Mars is in Cancer, the emotional nature of Cancer can also be intensified. You know, if they begin to hold on to frustration or anger or hurt, it can begin to bubble inside of them like a pressure cooker until eventually they pop and they direct all of that energy forward, oftentimes to somebody that may not be so suspecting or deserving. They just push the wrong button at the wrong time. These people are extraordinarily sensual, and they are very, very adamant on wanting to find somebody to truly love and connect with. Sex and love must go hand in hand with these individuals, and they really need that flair and that fire of romance to keep themselves tied in. Otherwise, they might feel neglected and insecure, which is a dangerous place for any person that has any rulership in Cancer. Jupiter being the great expander. When Jupiter is within Cancer, these people will seem very lucky. They will seem as if fortune is attracted towards them. And on the other hand, they will seem very charitable and willing to let go of whatever it is that they are attaining. These people are very sympathetic, and Cancer having that nurturing nature, once they are able to acquire wealth or anything else, they have a desire to want to share it and spread it forth and aid those around them. Noting the intuitive nature of Cancer, and Jupiter being the great expander, Jupiter is going to amplify that intuitive nature. These people will be very, very gifted in those aspects of life. When these people are able to tap into their emotion and tap into their imagination and their creativity, their success will perpetuate much more. And completing that circuit, the compassion and the empathy on the other side just creates this karmic cycle where blessings continue to flow. You know, where Cancer is the ruler of the home, a Jupiter Cancer individual can make anywhere feel like home. They can make anybody feel comforted and secure, and it is truly their desire to do so. Being very ambitious and very driven, they can be successful at just about anything that they set their mind to. However, these individuals will be very successful in areas of healing or healthcare, counseling, a field that will really encourage that Cancer nature of nurturing another, see its fulfillment. Now, where Jupiter is the great benefactor, Saturn being the great malefactor, Saturn Cancers, although they will have deep emotions, they are not very emotionally demonstrative, displaying and portraying what they're feeling internally to the world around them. They have boundaries and they have rules and standards that they will hold themselves to in certain disciplines, and allowing that emotion to be shown or come out may not be a part of that. You know, these are the people that are faced with decisions where it's, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? And once they make a decision, they will commit to that decision, leaving the other opportunity at the wayside. This bonded feeling that Cancer has with family and home, because of its rulership there, brings a Saturnarian Cancer to a whole new standard, because Saturn, being the planet that rules these responsibilities, these laws, these guidelines, and these disciplines, they are going to be the figure that tries to hold everything together and see that it is well taken care of and well stewarded over. They can become easily depressed. However, when they are in that state, oftentimes it will come across in another way, maybe even as quote-unquote sad mad. These individuals are constantly trying to overcome this emotion or that emotion, especially those of insecurity or not being good enough. They will oftentimes set a bar that is very high, and oftentimes including those around them when that bar is set that high and it's not met, even if it is not on their own accord. These individuals will feel personally responsible for that and be very hard on themselves. These individuals need to be told and reassured that they are loved, appreciated, and cared for, and that the jobs and duties that they are performing are not only noted but appreciated. Uranus, being one of our spiritual planets, when this planet is resting within Cancer, again you will see a very psychic nature, very sensitive to varying energies around them. They will have a unique desire to not only tend for their home and be domestic, but also tend for the world around them, being very humanitarian or very patriotic. They want to get involved in their community. They want to get involved in serving. They might be a little bit excitable. They might get a little bit high-strung, especially on things that other people seem to not really care about or just shrug off, because they are looking at it through a different lens and picking up on different emotions tied with that thing. So the sensitivity that they are living with gives them an ability to really see a diamond in a rough or an opportunity that others might miss and put their passion and their care where other people might be a little bit more neglectful. These individuals will be very eclectic, very eccentric. They will strive on being different and being a little bit out of the box. Individuals with Uranus and Cancer will not want to be tied down. They might have a little bit of a problem with entering into committed relationships because their emotions do swing so much that it might become difficult for them to commit to one thing. They would rather turn around and back away from the situation than commit to it for a long period of time. An individual with Neptune in Cancer will really be similar to Uranus in the fact that they will care about their communities, their states, their countries at large. Only now at this point, it may be to a degree where they have difficulty seeing the flaws in that area. They might be wearing rose-colored glasses, wanting to glorify something that is really struggling or needing some correction in an area. These people will enjoy serving those around them through physical service, making them food and cooking, creating artistic projects, just really displaying their affections through those types of manners. They may be a little bit unrealistic in their ideals of home and country, but they are committed to them. So a person with their Neptune in Cancer will absolutely love their children, love their family, love being a parent, and be living the dream. And it may be so much so that it is just that, a dream. They are not looking at it through clear lenses. They would rather ignore the problems than correct them, which can oftentimes become detrimental later in life. Again, their empathetic nature will make them good with counseling, great communicators, great listeners, and because of that, they might have a rather large social circle of friends who they care about and who care about them. Now, Pluto in Cancer, Pluto, last time being in Cancer, I believe in the 1920s and 1930s, they will find their power through their emotional intensity. Close relationships, those that they love that are around them offering support. It is difficult for these individuals to let go of things, although it's inevitable, whether they be emotions that they're holding on to or physical possessions that have sentimental value. These individuals can be very nurturing, very healing, very caring. Sylvia Browne is an individual that had her Pluto in Cancer, as did Martin Luther King, Neil Armstrong, Shirley Temple, and John F. Kennedy, all people that had rather large influence in various different aspects of life around us. Sylvia Browne, obviously, for her work in the metaphysical community, Martin Luther King, and John F. Kennedy in politics and world changes. These people will have a high capacity to create great change once their heart and their emotion is tied to something and they truly believe in it. So Cancer is a very loving, very caring, very emotional sign in the zodiac that cares very much for their home, their family, their friends. So if you have any placements in Cancer, I would suggest doing a little bit of your own research to help you to understand that aspect of yourself a little bit more and a little bit better. I want to thank you for joining with me today at the Academy of the Magical Art, and until next time, blessed be.